Thank you, Mr. Vaughn. Going to move to item number 7, appearance of interested citizens. Due to COVID-19, residents are encouraged to attend the City Council meeting via web conference or submit comments by email. Consistent with the public health guidelines for social distancing, limited seating is available in our council chambers. If an attendee does not have a facial covering, one can be provided. Comments may be made either at the council chamber podium. Please participate via web conference or email if you are ill or have been exposed to COVID-19. Do we have anybody who would like to speak to us this evening? Sure.
Sorry, I filled this out late. I didn't want to interrupt. The great presentation about the arts and culture that we were listening to. And in light of that, just getting so excited for our community to come back to life after what's felt like a really long time of just laying dormant. I did want to address you all about possible just a proactive step to mitigate discrimination in our community. I'm sure you guys are aware that there is legislation throughout different states and different cities talking about certain papers or documents that would prove vaccination to different entities, whether that's businesses, whether that's government offices, whether that's festivals or sporting events, that these certain types of passports that would show vaccination records, that these are being implemented to make people feel secure and safe, when in reality, this is just extreme discrimination on a really big level. And I was hoping that maybe this board might think about creating an ordinance here in Yuba City that would prohibit any such type of vehicle, any such type of vaccine passport to exist here within Yuba City. That we can't really control what happens in Sacramento, but here in Yuba City, we don't have to tolerate that kind of discrimination. So I was hoping that you all might be up for putting that on the agenda to discuss an ordinance against vaccine passports here within the city. Is that something you guys might be available to do?
I don't think it's something that we couldn't do. I just don't know that there's anything that currently exists that requires anyone to get a vaccination, and I don't contemplate anything happening within our city coming from this policymaking board. Now, there may be other entities within the city that operate outside of our control that may have those intentions, but we do not. And if we don't control them, no matter what we do, as far as an ordinance or at least some sort of a legal requirement, I'm not sure that ours would be enforceable.
Well, an example would be certain businesses that have store policy that you must show a vaccine passport to enter, or for example, festivals that might take place within Yuba City that would allow for a vaccine passport. Those would not allow for that to happen within our city.
Well, again, and I've mentioned this before, this is at its fundamental piece, a rights issue, right? If I'm a business owner, I may have the right to run the business the way I want to, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about. If I want to require someone to do something and it's not currently against the law, then perhaps I have the right to do that. I'm not sure if we would legally be able to say to a business owner, and I'll just use Walmart because it's been mentioned in these council chambers before, they have a corporate policy that requires the wearing of masks. I don't know that I as a city can tell them that that's illegal. I mean, they have a right to operate their business the way they want to operate it. I may not agree with it, but I don't have the right as a city council person, nor do I believe any of us have the right to tell them how to operate their business as it relates to wearing masks. That being said, we can certainly have counsel with our legal attorney and find out if that is something that's even permissible for us to do, and we will do that.
That would be great. I'd love to be able to follow up with you guys on that and see if it's possible.
Okay.
Thank you. Jeff Holston.
Sorry?
Should I go talk to get somebody?
No. I think you gave us plenty of direction. We know what you want.
Okay. And you have my email?
I have your email.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
So I want to reiterate too the same program as she just talked about. And if you're not savvy to it, then I think your head must be in the sand, or you're not, paying attention to your current events around you. But as far as I'm concerned, the they're saying that if you're not vaccinated, you can't go to a concert. If you're not vaccinated, you can't take a cruise. If you're not vaccinated, you can't shop in this store. If you're not vaccinated, you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. So I think the council is going to have to take a stand, really, on the issue, because we're having a segregation program going on. So is segregation permissible in America, whether it's private business or public business? Is the private sector doing the dirty work for the public sector? Right? These are the questions, and I think it is a hot button issue and very, very critical. So, because I don't like living in America and being segregated and fingered and put to the side. Matter of fact, I just won't tolerate it. So that's the way I feel about it. But I believe that this council will have to take a stand and decide what kind of discrimination that we're going to allow in this city. So, and I believe it is critical to your position. And I want to thank Grace for having such a big checkbook of the people's money.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Staff, I think you have enough information for us to do a little background. Thank you. Anybody else from the? Anybody online?
No public comment.
All right.